being a black woman in corporate America, society doesn't train you for that. It's no blueprint for that one, unfortunately. And so I had to go off the instincts that I learned on the streets. And I had a lot of friends that was in the streets when I was younger, and I'll just leave it at that. I ain't incriminating nobody. But they were on the streets, and I saw a lot of stuff and a lot of transactions, right? And I saw one thing, though, with that hustle was they was about their business. And so when my mentor told me that, I said, I got it. I got to bring the dope boy magic into corporate. So I came up with what Jeezy said. Jeezy's one of my favorite rappers, was corporate thugging. Like, I got to run this like a conglomerate. Like, this my block, and like, this is how you run it. But your block is only as good as what? Who you are, what you stand for, who you lead in. Do people believe in you? Right. Do you have a blue magic formula that everybody want to gravitate towards? So I started using a lot of the street stuff, and I said I could put this into my leadership because I could identify with that. Yeah. And so I remember before I left this company that I sat back and I was like, I've got to be the best black leader in the world. I have the sales formula of how to build high-performance sales team. Now I got to rebuild my confidence back up. Because when you on the streets, you got to have confidence 24/7. Right. Like, that's a must. Like, you ain't walking around with your head down and you got a whole crew behind you. Right. Exactly. You the leader, and you always got to lead by example. Yep. People do as you do, not as you say. Right. Yep. So I said, I made up in my mind before I left that company, I'm going to be the best damn sales leader in the world. And I'm going to leave a mark that is going to help every black boy and girl walk into tech sales. And I was determined after that. And I went to this next company that picked me up. Well, let me back up. So there was one plus to working at this company, right? Okay. So remember I talked about stocks? Right. Right? Yeah. So Greg taught me something really prevalent. He told me, he said, if you work for a publicly, and again, this is something we're not taught, y'all. So this is free game I'm giving you. Okay. If you work for a publicly traded company, lower your salary. When you work for a publicly traded company, they give you shares into that company, right? And Greg told me, don't you ever take a high salary, ask for more shares. So when I worked at this company that I was at, I lowered my salary to get more shares, and the company popped. And I made a lot of money with this company through my shares. And that's why I was able to walk away. And I said, damn, Greg taught me some free game. Yeah. Like, I was cashed out, and I was like, gave him the finger, like, like, I don't, with you, like, so I was feeling it. I had always had a lot of money because I was in sales, but this was like, yo, this is a different kind of money, this stock money, like. Right. You got equity. I didn't even do nothing. It was like I just sat back and it just bubbled, like. Yeah. And I was like, my mom had just passed. It was COVID. I'm like, damn, what am I going to do? I'm like, damn, I go get a Benz, go get me a Maybach. I'm like, I'm going to get a BBL. I'm like, man, I'm about to go buy a Birkin. Yeah. I'm going to keep it 100. There was all the things going through my, I'm going to go on a trip. Everybody, and never mind, I ain't gonna say, but everybody was balling during COVID. I'm going to just leave it at that. They were. They sure were. Yeah. And I just leave. In my world, they were, so I don't know if everybody else saw it, but that's what I was thinking. Nah, we all saw that. Yeah. And I was just like, no, Rhasheeda, you have done all that. Like, you didn't live that life. Yeah. And I heard my mama voicing me. She said, go buy a house. Let me tell you how good God is. I didn't know, and I'm working at a real estate tech company, but I learned a lot about real estate. I already knew because my grandfather was in real estate, but I learned it in the new day and age. And I remember I got with my mortgage loan officer and real estate agent. They told me the amount I was approved for. I said, I'm approved for that? You tripping. She like, no, that's real. Like, that's the number.
Yeah.
Now, where you want to go?
Yeah.
And I think I looked at about 40 houses, because during this time, during COVID, houses was flying off the shelf like this, and I kept getting outbid, even with the amount of cash that I had. And I still had a limit. I still wanted to keep some of the money as well, too. And I'll never forget, my real estate agent said, let's go look at new construction. I said, oh, no. I just want a simple house. I ain't trying to be doing all that, lady. And I looked at that new construction. She said, well, you can get that if that's what you want. So I built my house from the ground up from my stocks.
Great stuff. And I want to hit on that real quickly. You taking shares, right? Because some people at times they're so short-sighted. You know, they would have took the big salary over taking the shares. Like, that's a different type of thinking. You know, because I talk to people about that in business all the time, who, you know, go into businesses and stuff like that at times, and they may not be the founder, the CEO, whatever the case may be, but could look at potentially getting some shares and getting some ownership in the company at times over just, you know, having this instant gratification mindset of I want this big salary up front, right? And that allows you now to be able to cash, you know, in on a new home. Yeah, that's big.
Because when you are a high performer salesperson, money just, it comes and it goes. And I don't mean that in no cocky way, but like, money just a tool. It's just, it's here, it's gone, whatever. But like, you still got to have longevity with the money, right? And so my longevity is with my stocks, right? Your salary is your salary, right? And your commission is your lifestyle. That's how I was taught. I'm old school. My salary pay my bills. My commission pays my lifestyle, right? That's how I roll with my sales.
Gotcha.
And so my stocks is my longevity, right? Because that's where you can dip in if you need to rebuild a home, buy property, whatever you need to do. Right. You should have, you gotta, it's like a jug, man. You gotta jug in multiple ways. Like, you got, you know, I'm a girl where I like thumbing through a lot of checks. I ain't even gonna lie to you. Like, I came to Atlanta during the BMF era, so I saw a lot of money. And we talked about it before. So like, it's funny, we both was in the same promoting circle when I first moved. But overall, like, when you move to Atlanta, you see money. And like during my era coming to Atlanta, when you seen that kind of money, you got to diversify the money. You got to make the money work for you. You can't just be out here flossing. Right. You gotta put some up.
Exactly.
Because something might happen. Like when my mom passed, her life insurance policy did not cover her funeral. Me and my sister had to put our money up to bury our mother. But I had it. Yeah. It wasn't nothing. We ain't had to do no GoFundMe, fish fry. We wasn't even going out like that. Yeah. It was nothing to pull them up. Like, boom, bam, everything cash. Like, but my parents taught me that as well, too. Like, don't be a fool with your money, right? And in our community, we got to be able to diversify it and be able to lean in and have reserve, right? Because we going to get old one day. And we ain't gonna want work. And you might want to sit in your lazy boy for the next 10 years, last 10 years of your life, and you should be able to live that life. That's how my grandparents live that life, and I'm gonna live that life when I get older. Of sitting in my lazy boy not doing nothing. You know, I can't wait. But I've just learned that money is a tool, right? And when you making the kind of money that I'm making, not to brag, it's like, I got people that depend on me too. My sister, my nieces. I can't just be out here acting crazy. Like, I'm grown now. Both my parents was gone, so it was like, I ain't got nobody to like be like, Daddy, I ain't pay this. Like, write a check. That's all gone. So I had to, losing both my parents made me grow up.
I bet. And
be a boss. Like, it was like, okay, you are the CEO of your life now. That's what I learned from that. And my parents taught us to be strong, but what they also taught me was you got to stick together. So me and my sisters and nieces, we are close, very close. That's my world. That's what I do it for, because I want them to see greatness, right? And that is extremely important for young black girls to see powerful black women doing it big and not doing the other stuff. And no pun to that, because everybody got to start somewhere. You dig what I'm saying? I ain't knocking nobody hustle.
Right.
But to be able to walk into these corporate spaces that I've been able to walk in and be with a lace wig on, long, because that ain't what they don't want you looking like that. It was funny. My friend, one of my friends, was, you always come in looking like Cardi B with the long nails and the, yes, because that's me. Like, I'm not, I never switched that up. Like, this wig on now. Like, you might see me with long curly hair tomorrow. Like, yes, these people think I cut my hair. I ain't cut my hair. It's going to be 40-inch bust down in a minute. Just hold on. Wait a minute.
Yeah.